Hello guys, welcome back to the quantity surveying workshop and to another video. In today's video we're going to be learning how to build up the unit rates, or how to estimate for the excavation of column pits using the labor constant, and also when you are giving the productivity per hour. So for the first example, we're going to be using the labor constant. So as you can see in our bill of quantity extracts, they say excavate column pit not exceeding 1.5 meters deep. So if you look at this table, you will see that in the description of work for number 6, this is isolated what pits. So now look at in the type of soil that was stated for coarse soil or sand, firm soil or clay, gravel or compacted soil. You can see the different work out the labor constant, that's the time it takes them to at least excavate 1 meter cube. So for coarse soil or sand, they say 3 hours, firm soil or clay 3/4 hours, gravel or compacted soil 3.5 hours. So we're going to be assuming that it's coarse soil or sand, which is about 3 hours, meaning that it will take them about 3 hours to excavate 1 meter cube. So now we can now say solution the labor per man hour is equal to what? 3 hours per meter cube. So it will take them 3 hours to excavate 1 meter cube. So if cost per hour is at, so excavation is an unskilled labor, right? So the costs we are going to be giving this for this excavation will be the cost for unskilled labor, which we deduce as 219.94 naira. So since this is the cost per hour, so we can now determine what is the cost for what? 3 hours. So the cost for 3 hours will now become what? 3 multiplied by our cost per hour, which is what? 219.94, and that will give us what? 659.82. So after doing this, you will now add your what? Profit and overhead. So if you like, you can also add, let's say, 5% for tools. So 5% of 25% of 659.82 will give me 164.96, and then 5% of 659.82, 32.991. So you can now add everything together, and that will give me 857.77 naira. So doing this, you've calculated for what? Your cost per meter. Your cost per meter cube. So doing this, you've calculated for your what? Cost per meter cube for what? Excavation of your what? Column pit. So all you just need to do now is to take it to your what? Bill of quantity for the rate, multiply it by the quantity of excavation you have, and it will give you your what? Amount. So this is the first example when you are using your labor constant. So I'm going to give another example when you are using your what? Productivity per hour. So for example, now what I mean by productivity per hour is in a case where maybe you ask a laborer how many meter cube can the laborer excavate in an hour, That is what. So if the laborer tells you I can do 1/4, 1/3, whatever, 0.2 so meter cube per hour, then that is what you will now use to determine what the rate. So in our example 2, we're going to be using the productivity to what estimate for our rate. So in our first example, the labor constant that we used was 3 hours per meter cube. So I'm going to be showing you how to use that labor constant to determine what the productivity per hour. So they say that it will take derived productivity. So it's stated that it will take what 3 hours to excavate what 1 meter cube. But we want to know how many meter cube the laborer can excavate per hour. Therefore, 1 hour will now be equals to what? X. So you can cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you are going to have 3x is equal to what? 1. So you divide both sides by what? 3. Therefore, x will now be equals to what? 1/3 meter cube. This is just simple mathematics. So meaning that the productivity per hour is equal to what? 1/3. So it means that per hour, this laborer can excavate 0.33 meter cube of whatever soil it is to excavate our what? Column pit. So this is the productivity or your work output per hour. So for example, now if you find a laborer and you ask the laborer how many meter cube can you excavate per hour, and the laborer say he can excavate 0.33 meter cube per hour, then you can now use that information to what? Estimate what your cost per meter cube will be. So now, since we have gotten our productivity as 1/3, 1/3 meter cube, that's 0.33 meter cube, then we can now what? Begin our what? Estimation. So we know our productivity as what? 1/3 meter cube. So since we know our productivity as 1/3 meter cube, that's our work output. So, and we know that the cost of labor per hour, we deduce that as what? 219.94 naira. So in order to determine our cost per meter cube, so we're going to be dividing our cost per hour by our what? Productivity. So if you are confused, let me just do a little mathematics so that you can understand the premise. So like I said, in order to determine our cost per meter cube, we're going to be dividing our cost per hour by our what? Productivity. So if what's the unit of our cost, of our labor cost? It is what? Cost per hour. So if we have something like this, cost per hour divided by what? What's the unit of our productivity? Meter cube per what? Hour. So hour cancel what? Hour. What we are left now, is there any hour? We cancel hour. So is there any variable that are the same? No. So what we are left now is cost divided by what? Meter cube. So this is the unit that we are what? To estimate for. So I hope you get the logic now. So our cost per meter cube will now be equals to what? 219.94 divided by what? 1/3. So after doing that, what do we have? 659.82. So after we've gotten 659.82, we can now add 25% profit and overhead. So 25% of this price will now be equals to what? 164.96. Then maybe we can now add 5% for what? Tools. So 5% of 659.82 will now be equal to what? 32.99. So when you add everything together, we're going to be having what? 857.77 naira per meter cube. So you can see that this is what we got exactly in the first example. So we have 857.77, exactly what we have here, 857.77. So that is how you can estimate when you are giving the labor constant and your what? Productivity. So we've come to the end of today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and you derived adequate knowledge from it. Please, if you did, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel because it helps the channel grow. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.